Hey, it's MK and I am back with another Baby Got Scraps. And this time, I'm not cheating. I don't have 2 full sheets of paper, I swear. I just can't decide what I want to use as my background, okay? So that's why I have 2 pieces, I swear. So I have this uber old, close to my heart. It's called an In Color border. And basically it's a raw, like, craft paper. And then you can color it any color you want. So I have that, and it's supposed to be sticky on the back, but it's not. So yeah, I have that. I have some fringed pieces left over from my little fringed fruit bowl that I did a couple days ago. I also have a few pieces picked out from another layout that I did during my October layout a day, or I think it's a 30 days of sketches. That's what it was. So I have some pieces left over from that. I have some, these are called, oh, what are they called? Paradise, Birds of Paradise. Little flowers that I made using my Cricut for a card that I ended up only using a few of them and not all of them. I have this sheet, I don't know, my mind's eye, little tiny words, and they're just in yellow. That's the only reason. I don't even know what they say, so I don't know if they'll work. I picked out bunches. Now this one here, this was Amy Tan. These 3 right here were Amy Tan. It was the only thing left on the carrier sheet, so I stuck them on this wax piece of paper. I don't even know if they're going to come off, you guys. I just don't. And then these 2 here, I think, are Pink Fresh. I don't remember, but they're just little epoxy hearts that were of the same color, so that was cool. That was already put together for me. I also have, again, I pulled from my planner book. I'm just trying to use up the things, you guys. So I pulled from the planner book, and then I also pulled from, these are all the planner books right here, these 4. And then these 4 right here, which you guys probably can't see the little palm trees. You still can't see the palm trees. Oh, there they are. Move my hand and you can. These 4 are from Old School, Heidi Swap, I believe. Oh my god, there's just too many things. Again, this is the frame that went with my Birds of Paradise that I made for a card. These are my photos, my daughter's favorite animal. Well, it was my daughter's favorite animal. I don't know if it still is, but I have the animal and then her sitting there going, ah, yep, she's so cute. A couple pieces of vellum, pieces of like, hey look, I think this goes in that. Ah, it does. Super cool. Lots of pieces, you guys. Lots of pieces. This was a 8x6 and now it's a 6x6. And then this was also an 8x6. Look, there is the 8x6. Here are a couple of clear stickers that are gold from the Ink Road. Oh, I've always called it something different. Now it's actually set it on there. It's the Ink Road. I ordered a few of those, and so I want to use them up. And again, like I was saying, I can't decide on a... I can't decide on... Help me out here. On a background. Whoa. Words. That was hard. Okay. So I've got this really cool, like, pearlescent... It is. It's super cool. It's a Stampin' Up! Piece of little pearlescent card. Well, it's not really a card. Paper that I picked out. It's got weeds on the back or something. I don't know. It was from their Frosted Winter line is what it was. I don't know exactly what color it was, but I do love this. I love this with all the elements that I picked out, which I'm not sure if I'm going to be using all of them. I just started throwing stuff down on my page. And then, squirrel, moving on, I just picked out this. Okay, because I'm doing an 8.5 by 11. Did I tell you guys that? Might have missed that. I'm doing an 8.5 by 11 page today, and I thought that this would be cool if I cut it off and just use this portion right here, and had, you know, had these colors because they do kind of sort of match all of these fun elements that I picked out right here. And then I also, it matches these elements that I picked out right here. Now I could bring in this piece and use these pieces as my accent elements, right? Okay, they still go, they still work, but then I have all this green on green you know, mixed with the yellow and the pink, which is kind of in the accents that I have, and then a whole bunch of brown. And so I can't make up my marbles. Get that out of there for right now, it's shiny. I can't make up my marbles whether I like this. Do you see that? Now, the only reason why I picked this out, because I like all of this. Minus that, I like all of this. I really, really do. But then you bring this in and it's like too dark for this piece of paper. But I brought it in because my daughter is wearing camo. So that's the only reason why I brought it in. Do I need it? No, I do not, actually. But yeah, I just can't make up my mind. Green on green on green with a little bit of brown, or do something different and step out of my comfort zone. But then I'd have to take this piece of paper away and only use these little scraps. So, and does the brown really go? I can't turn it over. It's a car in some palm trees. Yep, that works too. I love this mixed with this. So what do you think, you guys? This is definitely a must, because that's just so fun. Anyways, so what am I doing today? Today is Take Out Your Tools Tuesday. All right, it is a new series that I want to do all year long to encourage you guys to bust out those tools. Now, I could put this layout together with my trimmer, my scissors, my ruler, and my glue, and not even think twice about it. But I want to bring out my tools. I want to be able to share with you guys, you know, one, the tools that I have, and maybe you guys might have them as well, and how to bring them in, you know, incorporate them in the now, because they might be from the then, right? And so basically, last week, I forgot to mention it in my fringe layout, but this week, or this month, is it the month? It is. This whole month we are working on like our decorative scissors, and my first one that I brought out was the fringe scissors. And I didn't show you guys. I did a terrible way of announcing it because I honestly didn't think that I was gonna get, you know, I'm just being honest here. I thought that the layout was so off the wall that nobody would even like it. And in fact, there was lots of people that did, and I appreciate it. I really, really thank you guys. But it was a crazy, crazy layout that I never thought I would do, but I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed bringing out my scissors and creating all these fun little elements, you know, all these fringes, and bringing them out. So what am I going to bring out today? I left them. Hang on. So keeping in line with the scissors, I'm bringing out these old guys. Yeah, super old. Now, I have only a few of these. I had a whole bunch of them, you guys. They were like, you know, the border punches of the day, right? And so I had a ton of these, but I moved on. I got my border punches. I love my border punches a lot better. I feel like they line up better than these do. But this isn't about border punches. This is about if you still have these in your stash. And I do. I have some scallops. I have my pinking ones, the ones that do the little jagged edges. I have this stamp one, which is kind of sort of cool, I think. And then I have a decal edge one. Okay, so I have just a few of these. The decal edge one I have no problem using whatsoever. The scallop one I kept because it's kind of an in-between scallop from my border punches that I have to my Cricut. So I like having that variety of border punches or scallops. And then of course the pinking one I really like, just because I like that effect on certain things. And then I already said my decal edge I have no problem using whatsoever. But this one doesn't get used very often. In fact, I had to dust it off just for you guys. Yeah. So anyways, I think I'm going to do this. I really, really do. The more I look at it, the more, this was an awful lot of green on green with brown. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm not sure if I'm going to incorporate this because it is dark. I do like this because this pulls from the colors that are in there. Blut, add some green. Okay. And then of course I have this, whoa, stay. I have this weird green going on here, which I think kind of matches a little bit better than this one, but we'll make it work. We will see what is all going on. I have no direction other than the fact that I know what I want to use these for. That's it. That's all I have. So let's see what I can do. I did pull in this scrap of vellum that I had from yesterday's layout. It was just laying on my desk and I thought, oh my gosh, that is like the perfect, it's like perfect. So why not? I did debate on whether or not I should just cut my top piece with the little zip strip left on top, but then I realized I'd rather have the 4 or 3.5 inch long strip than I would the 1 inch long strip. So if that makes any sense, I don't know, you guys. When I cut my paper, especially down to 8.5 by 11, I really enjoy having larger scraps than I do smaller scraps. So I always try to think about what cut to do first. Anyways, I am using these stamp image scissors to make this border that I had pre-made for another project. I kind of want to make it look like a postage card, and the old day postage cards had like a deckled edge on them, and I thought that this would be absolutely perfect. Now, in case you guys aren't familiar, I don't like to ink my edges over my projects. I've just had way too many smears, and smears where I don't want them, clearly. And so I kind of just have gotten into the habit of doing them off to the side, down by my lap. So it's very boring just watching me dip into the inkwell every now and then and ink off camera. So I completely edit all of that stuff. And while I was talking about editing all of that stuff out, what was I doing? I was trimming my other photo down, and I trimmed out around the frame that I previously had cut, so that way I could go ahead and I didn't even bother trying to measure it or anything. I just glued it straight to the picture and trimmed it all out. Now I am shuffling paper. That is all I'm doing. I struggled so much with this, you guys. I knew I wanted layers behind my daughter's photo. I knew that I wanted to use up these scraps. I knew what I wanted to do, but I couldn't get it to look the way I wanted it to look. And so I was struggling. So when I struggle with stuff like that, I move on. I see where I want to do the rest of the layout. So I look at all of my other elements and I see, okay, I have my fringed pieces I still want to work with. I have this polka dot vellum that I want to work with. I have these stickers that I want to work with. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to stop and let my brain rest on the whole photo situation and move on to the embellishments, because for one, that's what makes me happy is when I get to embellish it and make it look pretty, right? The photos make me happy, the memories make me happy, but my creativity when I get to embellish is what really keeps me, I guess, putting up with this craft, because it's very very intense when you let it get intense. It can be like that. So back to the photos. I kind of sort of have a direction as far as embellishments go, but now I need my photos to be done so that way I can see if what I'm doing with my embellishments will actually work. So I need to do that. I've got these 2 vellum pieces. One doesn't have a pattern, the other one does. And I'm just tucking them in. I love the effect of vellum. And, that backer piece for that border was driving me nuts. It was messing with my brain. And so I tried to fix it. And like I said previously, these borders aren't very sticky anymore. And so when I tried to fix it, the whole thing just came off. So I thought, forget it. Why do I even need it? So I'm going back to my daughter's picture. I have finally decided I'm going to take all these scraps and makeshift a frame. I'm going to, just basically do the exact same thing as the zebra print, except that it won't be as large. It'll be a little bit smaller. And I'm just going to work with the pieces that I already have. And I'm going to, I want the same effect. So previously when I backed my daughter's photo with these papers, it wasn't doing anything for me. I was like, what is it missing? Well, it's missing that inner frame being inked like the one on the zebra photo. And so it's like, oh, well, I need to go do that. So I left this part in so you guys can see how I am going to make a frame, and I'm going to piece these pieces all together so I can ink that inner section. And it does really, it brings it all in for me. It actually does what I want it to do. And I'm like, oh, yay. I apologize about being off camera. I thought I looked up and checked to make sure that I was, and apparently I'm not. Sorry. I'm just using washi to hold my pieces in because I made my frame go around the photo rather than on top of the photo. I just did not have large enough pieces, and I would have had to piece too many together. These ones. This one is only 3 pieces that I would have done, and if I would have made it any bigger, I would have had to bring in like 5 pieces to get it to actually work. So cut all that out. It's all done and over with. I did fiddle with it for quite a while. So I cut it all out. You guys don't need to see this. And finally I got the photo where I want it. Now it's not perfect. It's not, some of the cuts weren't straight, nothing. In fact, I cut one too short. So now what I'm doing to fix the one that I cut too short is I'm making a little embellishment cluster. So I took this little, I think it's a view. No, the viewfinder's around, a slide. Yeah, this little slide photo thing. And I'm building like just a little, I wouldn't say a scene, but some clusters of things that are already in the layout. So I took the palm trees from the back of my brown paper and picked one that didn't have too many cars behind it, because palm trees and cars, that was just so weird, you guys. It's random. So I put that there. I used the vellum again to tone the green down. Then I put the palm tree stickers that I already had on my sheet and put those on, in front of the vellum. And then I have these yellow stickers that say 100% genuine. And I stuck those on there. So now I have this little cute cluster. And then I decided I am finally to the point where I need to go and spray these things. Now, the worst part I hate about these is waiting for them to dry. I should have done this at the very, very beginning, but I didn't know that I wanted to do this. So I finally went and sprayed them. I had this emerald, I think it's called Emerald or Esmeralda. Anyways, I don't remember. It's the Dilutions green. It was already on my desk from yesterday's layout, so I didn't clean up. Go me. And so I just used that. I didn't even bother to see if it was going to be the right green or not, and luckily it was. Oh my goodness, go me. So now I'm just building up this border that I already had in my brain. I absolutely love how it looks. I love the fringed little pieces along with the like the rainbow ombre colored border thing going down in the exact same direction as the paper. So I thought that was pretty cool. And the polka dot vellum actually just really adds to it. It was a good touch, and I'm glad I didn't move it off my desk. So I just used my ruler as a bone folder to stick that border down like really, really well. And now I am just putting my fringed pieces onto my vellum piece so I can tuck them behind this palm tree paper. And that portion is done. I did take my ink and ink the edges of the fringed pieces, and that's how it kind of got a little dark on the end right there. In case I missed it, I think I cut it out. I can't remember. I apologize about that. And I am just committing to my photos, the photo placements, the way that I had them. They aren't exactly like I had them placed, and so I kind of am like, oh, something wasn't working. And so I had to fix a few things that I thought I had planned, but it didn't, because I didn't put my photos back exactly how I had them. It kind of sort of didn't work, but that's okay. It still works out. It still looks great. I'm putting favorite, again, this ombre favorite on the vellum because the vellum isn't glued down, and so it kind of sticks up, allowing that word to stick up. So I really like that. And then I took the You're My Absolute Fave sticker and I cut it out to where I just have my absolute, and then I'm using the ombre favorite to finish my title. So it's my absolute favorite, and then down at the bottom I'm going to make another like kind of a subtitle. I took this label from Heidi Swapp's Old School and just kind of stuck it in there, just trying to build up a larger cluster around my photo, or I'm sorry, my title. And then I might do some small little journaling about how this was my daughter's favorite animal. I'm not really sure if it is or not anymore. I'm sure it still is. She hasn't said anything. So here is my subtitle. It just says Smile Weekend Fun, and then the yellow little saying is recorded. So Smile Weekend Fun recorded. I just love mixing things like that and making something make sense. I stuck this little flower randomly up there. I wish I had at least one more, but that's okay. I think it works out pretty well. Now I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to put all of these leaves, and I'm wishing that I would have put some of them going the opposite direction. I'd never even realized that all of my leaves are pointing in the exact same direction. Yeah, and I should have made them go in different directions, and then that way I had a few options to play with, but that's okay. Tucking them behind the layouts, the pieces of the layout, the photos, all that stuff, making them work, checking to make sure that they're actually dry so I don't accidentally get this green everywhere. That would have looked bad. And then I am trying to figure out, this is my last little Amy Tan sticker that I had. It was said So Curious, and it just didn't work. It just wasn't working. I am deciding, do I want to spray this other one, because that means I have to go and wait for it to dry again. So I'm just checking to see where I want it, and I decide, yes, I do want to spray it and put it on the layout. So I did that, waited for it to dry. Now I am just making up my marbles. Do I want it up at the top? Do I want it down at the bottom? Where do I want this? And up at the top is where it goes. And that is it. I am finally done with this layout. I did struggle a little bit. I don't know. Once I started eliminating the elements that I just wasn't happy with how they were going, like the fawn leaf one that I first had that I really wanted to use. Once I got rid of that, I felt like I had a direction to go. Once I finally broke down and made my daughter's frame around her photo, I finally was excited about putting this layout together. So check out everyone else. Their links are all down below. This is a blast. It is an amazing project. I am so super stoked about using up my scraps. And then I get to play with all new stuff. Well, it's not really new. It's more like it had been in the bottom of the barrel for long. It's not new. Anyways, check y'all tomorrow. Bye.